Welcome to another episode in our series Creativity and Innovation for KM Programs. Today our theme is value. I'm John Gerard and I'm delighted to be joined by Stephanie Barnes. Stephanie, how are you today?
Great.
Good. Looking forward to our discussion. Stephanie, in my experience, there's a few things that our clients and customers want, but they don't really want to pay for. And that includes sometimes training and education. I often talk to my students about that. Creativity and innovation falls into this category, KM. But can you say a bit, Stephanie, about this idea? Where has it come from? Do you agree on this value proposition? And what have you done in the past in this area?
Well, this has come up specifically in a project that I'm working on right now, but it's also made me reflect on sort of my history with value and the fact that, a lot of times KM programs, training and development programs are the first to get cut because people don't see the value in them. They're longer term, they take some time to come back. A lot of it's really intangible, to use an accounting term. It's hard to, it's not, a glass of water, it's not a laptop that you can, see and feel and touch and put a value on.
Right, and I've certainly seen that, and in information systems we see this frequently, especially around the training piece, but in other areas as well. So the question then is, how do you think we can get back to considering some of these intangible components of value? How do we bring them back in so that they are mainstream and not fringe?
Honestly, I don't really know. Certainly when I'm, and I'm pondering it because I am working on a project right now that is dealing with this very question, and and it's frustrating. I will say, I think there's progress being made in this area. I have got connected to someone here in Europe that has done a lot of work in this field, and I'm very excited about doing some work with him and finding out more about what he's doing. I think the more our organizations focus on creativity and innovation, it's going to be more important to put a value on this and to recognize that there is a value. But it also strikes me that we've been in this knowledge economy for decades, and people are still struggling with this. Accountants still struggle with this. So I really don't have an answer for this. I do know that every little bit helps. So us having this discussion, hopefully people will pick up the video and watch and be curious and consider it, because I think that awareness is the first step.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think there has been a shift change in some industries, in tech, for instance.
Maybe we should have a part 2 to this conversation, because next week I'm going to learn some more about how we could implement a model, perhaps, and make this more tangible for people.
Well, let's do that. And maybe that's a good segue into offering to our viewers that they come back to a future segment where we talk about this. I think there's some important work to be done in this value segment, and I'm not entirely sure where to go. I know that it's important, so I look forward to what you find, and maybe we'll do a session on this in the future. What else should we add to this?
As we were saying, the tech industry, people seem to recognize there is a value there, an intangible there, but I think that there's other intangibles in other industries that we just need to be aware of. So much of this stuff comes down to just having an awareness and asking the question and figuring it out from there, from figuring out the right questions to ask and keeping an open mind rather than just saying, this is the way we've always done it, and we're going to do it this way, even though the situation has changed. So I think starting to answer the questions or ask the questions is the first step.
Good. Well, that makes sense to me. I think that was an interesting discussion about how value relates to creativity and knowledge management, but definitely one that we're going to have to pick up in a future episode to be sure. Thanks for today. That was a great discussion. All right. Well, let's meet again soon to pick up on another one. And for the viewers, please be sure to like our video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future episodes, and post any comments that you might have. Thanks so much.